I'm going to do between 1 and 5 meetings a week, we'll see. But at least one. You will naturally find that this becomes easier and easier, more enjoyable, more fun, and it puts things in perspective quite effortlessly for you. All you need to do is show up. Be yourself, just listen, just let it in. Let it in. Let yourself be brainwashed by this cult. Honestly, one of the most powerful things I have found, my seeking and visiting with teachers and being a teacher and seeing many people struggle, is to simply listen. You don't have to agree, you don't have to disagree. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to not do anything. You don't have to know the path, you don't have to not know the path. Just sit down, let it happen. But expose yourself. If you're not exposing yourself to this type of clear pointing that comes from a place of truth and transcendence, if you're not exposing yourself to that, it will not sink in. Okay, so you need a consistent environment. Trust me, that's the only reason I'm doing this. I have no reason to have an environment like this for personal gain or reasons. So what you need is an environment that is consistent in its ability to drop you into the right space. Do this frequently enough, frequently enough, frequently enough, frequently enough, and it will leave perforations in your consciousness that always allow you to seep through to deeper levels of truth, even while you're living your everyday life. So, just trust me when I say that if you just expose yourself to this, that is enough. The work will come, the discipline will come, the choices, the definitive choices, the sacrifices that at first seem sacrificial, later on seem like the greatest gift to yourself. They will come naturally from your very own heart when we remove these layers over and over and over again. And again, the most effortless way for a seeker, for a mind, to achieve great, great leaps in this is to not try too hard at first, at least, until the path is super clear and it is intrinsically motivated, and it's intrinsically clear, intrinsically guided. Until that point, expose yourself, expose yourself, expose yourself, marinate, inundate yourself with this material. Is the easiest way I've found to make great, great leaps, great transformations without really having to do anything. All you have to do is commit to the fact that you will expose yourself, whether you feel good or bad, whether you believe you can or not, whether you like the teaching or not. Listen to it. Listen to it. Just listen. Just let it happen. Something will happen. Sooner or later, the magic will drop in. And that's what we want. Right? So the controller replaces God. But when God is seen, it replaces the controller. This is the journey to self-realization. We want the controller to be absolutely annihilated. Ultimately, don't do this just yet, unless you want to. But the imposter needs to be negotiated out of its own contract with you. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's an imposter. Okay, it's not who you are. But since you have become identified as and with the imposter, it's very difficult for you to see without thinking. And any thought you have is the imposter, including the thoughts you think are best for you. You don't know what's best for you. I'm sorry. Maybe you get a glimpse of it, again, depending on your level of openness and experience with giving away the mind altogether. You can hear what I'm saying to the degree that you're not thinking about what I'm saying. You're not filtering. You're not protecting. But notice whatever protection you have in you now, subtly, things you wouldn't even label protection, but something in you is a little on edge right now. Something. Every single one of you, there's something there. Some very subtly, some locked up in fear, what's happening. Any degree between that, what is it in you that is not completely at ease right now? Look for the remnants of the imposter self, pretending to be you, pretending to keep you safe. From what? Safe from what? More of God? You don't want to let more of God in? Are you sure? Just want to have this tiny little patch of God and call it human? When you can have all of God in infinite abundance, overwhelming grace, indescribable joy. Union with the one infinite Creator, for Christ's sake. Along the way, yes, there will be meditations. Yes, there will be bliss. Yes, there will be direct pointings that make you feel instantly liberated and free, and laughter ensues. And it changes you forever, for sure. But along the way, there will also be moments where we will have to renegotiate that contract. We have to sit down, look at where we're substantially holding ourselves back from letting more of God into our lives. And we have to be willing to renegotiate those addictions. That's what I meant with certain sacrifices need to be made. But when you get to the level where that becomes relevant for you in order to move on, that you need to renegotiate that contract or give it up altogether, depending on how ready you are, how tired you are of that contract. We'll have to go through that process from time to time. But like I was saying, when you are ready for that, when it is relevant for that to happen, it will no longer feel like a sacrifice. It'll feel like the first thing you want to do. Because you can now feel how heavy it has always weighed on you. You haven't realized that you're wearing this backpack this whole time. Even when you're sitting down, you don't have to wear it. When you take a train somewhere, you're still wearing the suitcase. Why? Just put it down. The train is carrying the load. You don't have to. Trust in God and your life will be just fine. Trust in life. Whatever word you want to use. Infinite awareness. The one infinite Creator. Love. They're not completely synonymous, all of these, but they will do. Whatever word resonates for you. Christ. Why do you feel unsafe, O imposter mind? What could possibly happen to you other than more of the mystery of the one infinite Creator revealing itself? And why is that scary, O imposter mind? Why are you afraid? What has God done to you? How have you been harmed and hurt? Betrayed, abandoned, misunderstood, failed, discarded. Where does that fear come from? Why be afraid in circumstances when there is no need for it? Why carry it around with you all this time? You needed it back then. But who needs it right now? Why not let in the divine infinite love and bliss of the one infinite Creator and wash away your tears, your fears, your struggles, your attachment to your past? Wash away your identification with your past. I know you worked hard to achieve it, but it doesn't exist anymore. And it has never existed to begin with. There is only God. What else would it be made out of? There's only one creator, and it's infinite. So it can appear as everything. Every portion of your life has always been the light of God. In form. Your labels have made it nasty. Only God is. Nothing needs to be said. Thought. Concluded. All you need to conclude is that only God is. Don't worry, we'll do more exercises and methods and all that. But that's the essence of it. If you can stay with that realization and know what it means, that would suffice. There is only God. Only God is. There's nothing else. All your thinking is simply untrue. Only God is, and that shines forth as the infinite light. I'm excited to be sharing in this light with you all for the purpose of upgrading the civilization. Your participation is and would be highly appreciated. I'll be the best I can be at what is natural to me. You all be the best at what you do and what you are and what's natural to you. Then there will be a symbiotic relationship that will upgrade this town without them even knowing it. There's a profound, pristine, silencing presence around you that demands alignment.